And then
Yeah, Mutasco, you came up as well. Got a question?
No, I just jumped in here randomly, and I think it was Emily probably that pulled me in here. But I was listening in, and it kind of got me really, really. I think I just want to commend you first of all because I'm just listening in. I'm just like kind of connecting the dots on what you're describing. And my question is, because it reminds me of MakerDAO's Endgame, the whole structure and the evolution of it, because they kind of said, MakerDAO core and the sub DAOs and whatever. Everything that you're describing, it's like that's what I see. And that gets me excited about, I don't know, Maven. I've never like just this is the first day to be honest that I'm seeing it. Um, what caught my attention was the co-op part, the co-op banking part. And I was like, let me listen to this. But my question is, why is it a layer one? And if it is a layer one, um, what inspired this structure? And I know it could be a long answer. You don't have to. I'll try to flag this so I can jump in and learn more about it. But you have a very impressive structure. That's what I can say. But if you don't mind, you can
Don't
comment on it.
don't worry about the length of the answer. Alex likes these kind of questions. Alex, to you.
Oh, I love these questions. Music to my ears, but I will give you a very short answer, and then I'll elaborate a little bit more. And feel free to
Goes
cut
on
me
for
off.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Um, so, Mutasco, first off, music to my ears. When it comes to comparing it to, I mean, it's very flattering to hear that it sounds similar to MakerDAO's Endgame, because we do have a bit of a problem in the Web3 space. Well, this is going to be a longer thing on like relating to Endgame, but about the kind of more of like the theories on behind decentralization. We do have a problem in the Web3 space where everybody keeps talking about um, gradual decentralization. Decentralization is a spectrum, and they most of the time use that to justify launching something that they either didn't fully build or that takes a while to build over time, or they released a token, they needed to release some sort of utility afterwards quickly, or um, uh, or they will promise decentralization later and they take their sweet time doing so, and a lot of times don't actually enable that decentralization. I think one of Bitcoin's greatest things that it ever did, the greatest thing Satoshi ever did was launch Bitcoin, have it be decentralized, and disappear. Um, and he had Bitcoin. He gave Bitcoin. They, whatever. If it was a group, gave Bitcoin this decentralization from the get go, and we have a lot of projects today that promise decentralization. Like, MakerDAO's Endgame is the promise to overhaul everything into this fully decentralized system. And Maker's done a good job overall. Don't get me wrong, but as a general whole in the Web3 space, everybody says, "Oh, we're a decentralized platform for this," but they must have a core team behind it controlling everything. And that's something that we did very differently. We didn't say, you know what, we're going to release a token first. We're going to release a part of Maven first. We did the hard work building Maven to release a fully fledged co-op that exists fully on chain. Celsius said they were DeFi, but in practicality, in all reality, they were fully centralized. All these other platforms, like what happened with Celsius, is not capable of happening with Maven. And we try not to make these comparisons of being like, oh, well, they screwed up, and so it can happen here. But we looked at all these other platforms and decided, okay, let's build the right way, because when shit hits the fan elsewhere, we've mitigated these problems. We've learned from others' mistakes, and we've built this fully
Uh,
decentralized platform from the start.
Let me clarify
That's
something
on that's on the end game.
with Celsius. Can't happen here. The What we did was we made it extremely transparent and open. So the deception and misleading and frankly lies that happened with Celsius, They can't be
and
hidden.
and a lot of other
on Maven.
platforms. A lot of other platforms.
Like you'll see it all happen on Maven. That's the extreme. Like we're not. It can't be hidden with Maven.
Wait, Sam. You'll see all the transactions and all the smart contracts open on Maven. Not you'll see what happened on those platforms happen on Maven.
Alex is challenging the hackers again.
Correct.
Everybody's putting on their sunglasses as we speak.
I know, flipping up the back of the hoodie on there. So Mutasco, that's related to like long to TLDR. What I said before, a lot of people promise decentralization. We've delivered it. And so that's a very big difference between what we've built. We thankfully have had very patient backers, a very patient community and ecosystem, and that's one thing. Secondly, so Maven is a decentralized banking protocol built in a series of 20 smart contracts. It will be launching on the Mavryk Layer 1 blockchain, which is a decentralized blockchain that that as a development team we are building. And we are launching Maven as a flagship application on top of the Mavryk Layer 1 blockchain. So asking about which chain it is, Maven is not a chain. Mavryk is its own blockchain. So to separate those two,
That makes it
things.
even better. So I mean, thank you. I appreciate. I can tell just listening to you that you put a lot of thought behind this, and this is just my first time listening to you, by the way. So I tend to hang around a lot of really deep, you know, ecosystems that are like looking to build for the future. So I'm not just speaking and asking this question like vaguely. Um, and Emily, I just tagged you on what I referenced if you want to go do some deep dive on it. But as I listened to Alex speak, I have never run into the token first time, but I wouldn't. It will get me to like wanting to be a part of it, right? Buy it and be a part of it. That's kind of one of the things that is very difficult to do in Web3 because there's just a lot of noise in the space. And if you have people who are actually doing great things, they don't even get amplified. And that's also another problem that we have to get. It's almost like a gravitational pull. You have to get yourself out there just so people can at least see quality work. And that usually takes time. And if you're here for the good intentions of building a good protocol, then you just never give up. You just keep doing your thing and you're going to prevail. So I'm going to learn more about Maven, but I just had to come up and thank you for letting me speak.
Oh, thank you. That was music to my ears.
You know,
That was music to my ears right there, right? Because I that's why we bring these boys up here, right? They're founders. They could be off doing meetings and other things, but they're so passionate about what they're building. I'm in love with it, and I just want to show you guys this passion. So that's why we do these spaces. Go ahead, Emily. What? Go ahead.
Yeah, one second, Emily. Just give me 1 second. Mutasco, really, from someone who's been building this and leading a very unified core team for what we're building, I deeply appreciate everything you just said because there are so many people who get hype, and we're just now getting this and starting to get this out there, really. And so it's taken a long time to build, but and to wrap up just this response, when you brought up MakerDAO's Endgame as their literal end game to their decentralization journey and path, that's where we're starting with Maven. Their end game is our beginning. And so we're starting off decentralized. There shouldn't be an excuse to not have that on day one. So
Yes,
Emily,
I'll be very quick, but just some direct feedback that can encourage you guys to keep going with these spaces, especially you, Alex, is I don't, this is new to me. This is a lot of information, but somehow I'm very interested and I want to learn more. And so that means that you are very good. You're a very good educator. You're a very good communicator and you make it interesting and you make it it's like I want to know about tokenomics, like more, please. So just the thought, Theo and Alex and Sam.
I'm actually just about to send you on Twitter a link to Maven Finance's light paper, specifically the tokenomics section. But feel free to read through the entire document, obviously. But I, again, also really I'm feeling flattered here. But I do appreciate it. I actually used to be the chief innovation officer for the Tezos blockchain's Israeli office. And so I used to give lectures at University of Zurich, at actually my alma mater, the Reichman University in Herzliya, to VCs, to hedge funds, spoken in Davos and Los Angeles and Dubai, where we've lived now for 2 years. So it's there's a there really needs to be this balance between building and educating and business when building these things, because you can't have the best tech if no one knows about it, and you can, if everybody knows about something but it's just tech, then kind of what are you doing here? So thank you.
So I'm not wrong. I could sense something from your everything you described, because everything that I had, I jumped in late. But what I can still remember what I had, right? I had ease of innovation just by you describing the satellites and how they can be independent. And then you're trying to create separation on the treasury and how whatever. And once you started describing that, I was like, you caught me, and I was like actively listening, because I'm like, this is very interesting. Who is this and who's behind this and whatever, because that's what I started asking myself about. So keep doing this, because I think sometimes these spaces can be a vehicle for propagating your message. And if you have a good protocol, I think people should hear about it. And because at the end of the day, if you have, I don't know if you've read the book, what's his name, Andrew Chan's book, the what do we call it, the cold start problem. He talks about atomic networks. So when you started talking about satellites, that's what came to my mind, because I'm like, okay, how do you build atomic network within a network? So if you have a blockchain and you're trying to build and create that ecosystem, are you just saying we're building an ecosystem, or you actually have it designed and enshrined within your blockchain, right? Because most people don't do it. They just talk about it and they're like, okay, so how do I participate? Or if I'm just coming in and I want to grow your model, what vehicle is there for me to do so? But I just heard you short, and I can see, and I haven't looked at it, but I'm sure the light paper is on the website. I'll go, open it up, because I like to read stuff that are intellectually stimulating. So thank you.
Of course, of course. And again, thank you. I mean, I've never been so flattered in a Twitter space before, but I'm blushing. Um, but yeah, this is, one of the reasons that we, as Sam and I both said, we may have over-engineered Maven a little bit compared to the rest of the market. We built what everyone else promised to build. And so if you take a look at the Maven light paper, if you take a look at the Mavryk network, which is an expansion from our dev team, we're building the Mavryk network so that we can bring on board from our business development team a bunch of tokenized real world assets. As we tokenize them onto the Mavryk network, we integrate them as collateral into Maven Finance so that you can, okay, we tokenize this Marriott hotel. Now what do we do with it? So what that it's on chain. So you earn your dividends, your rental income to your wallet. But now you can then use that tokenized hotel and use it as collateral for a loan on Maven, and then go, use your rental dividends to pay off your loan, and use that loan money to go buy another asset. You can level up your life. And so exactly as what you're saying is, we've structured and built all of our other products, and some of them are not even out of stealth yet. But essentially, we're building this massive ecosystem onto the Mavryk blockchain, Maven being the flagship lending, borrowing, and Oracle app. But I really welcome you to check out both the Maven light paper and the Mavryk light paper as well.
Let's go.